is a video I'm very excited to make and talk about because this is something that I have wanted personally for a very long time. You might have seen I did a video about a year ago called Why Novo Guitars Have Aura, and that was basically just me talking about why I love these guitars so much. I was fortunate enough to be able to borrow one from a store that I work very closely with on some demo work and stuff like that, and who's a good friend of mine. He loaned one to me for a little bit. Now I can officially say I am a owner of one of these beautiful guitars, this one here in particular. And what this one is, this is a made for NAMM 2026 Miris J. It's in this beautiful red burst finish. It's called Silvertone burst, and it's got that wonderful silver flake underneath the finish as well, underneath the clear coat. Which you only can really see when you're kind of close up to it. It's really, really awesome. Same thing with the matching headstock. I am just over the moon excited about this guitar. If you saw the title, if I decided to title it that, I had to make some sacrifices. These are expensive, higher end instruments. Definitely the most amount of money I've put towards a guitar in my playing career so far. And so I had to sacrifice my beloved Suhr that I've been playing for a few years. And I'm gonna briefly talk about that, and then we're gonna get back to the Novo. As to why. But if you've seen me or if you've followed me, I've been playing the Matheus Asado signature Suhr, the pink one, for the last almost 4 years. And it's been on with me all over the world. It was my first tour guitar when I first started touring and everything. And it was a really, really great guitar. But I touched on it briefly in my last video, talking about my AVRI 2 Strat that I just built and kind of rebuilt a little bit for touring. I never loved how that guitar sounded. It sounded good, but it never really hopped out to me in a particular way. I was never really drawn to the sound of it. I always just kind of like did the job, really, and it did the job really well, but I was never specifically inspired by it. It was always something that like worked great for gigs, for touring. It had a roast maple neck, but I kind of got it in an era where I wasn't feeling super inspired personally, musically. I wasn't really playing guitar outside of gigs and like work and stuff, and it very much was just a job to me around that time. And then over the course of the last year, a lot of that musical passion has started to kind of come back, and it's been really, really great. And I bought the PRS, which also got sold because sonically this guitar kind of replaces that guitar with the dual 2P90 thing going on. So I figured it would be the smart thing to do to sacrifice the PRS as well to put towards it. But buying the PRS and kind of reigniting some musical excitement. It was the first time I'd bought a guitar since the Suhr. Getting some other guitars, I rebuilt my silver Strat. I bought the red Strat recently on tour. I picked it up on the road, and the pink one, it kind of just started to sit on the back burner a bit more and more. I didn't use it at all on the last tour that I was on. I used the PRS for that tour, and my mind kind of started to change and shift about that guitar. And really the only thing kind of holding on to it was my girlfriend really liked that guitar. That was the guitar I got when we first started dating and everything else like that. And she kind of, after talking about it, came to me the other day and was like, hey, like if you wanted to sell the guitar, sell or trade the Suhr, like you can. And I sat on it for about a week. I was in rehearsals all week because I'd seen this guitar. I was at Angel City Guitars for their new opening. And I saw this one on the wall. I didn't even pick it up because I was like, I didn't even want to like do that to myself. I know I could never have this beautiful instrument. And then all week, last week, I was in rehearsals for this tour that I'm about to go on. So I just sat on it all week. I wasn't able to just go in and try this guitar or whatever else, because I remembered it, I looked it up, and I was pretty quickly drawn to this one. And it forced me to really sit and think on like, do I really want to get rid of this guitar that I've really had and really loved for something else that is totally different and could breed some new form of creativity and inspiration, and also something that I've wanted. Like truthfully, like this is a lot of money for these instruments, and so I didn't have the funds to. I'm very fortunate that playing guitar is what I do for a living, but I didn't have the money to just go out and spend the $4,700 that something like this costs. So I thought about it all week, and I was like, if I still feel the same way by Saturday morning, I'm gonna take everything I can and go visit my buddy at Angel City Guitars and see what we can work out. So that's what I did. I woke up Saturday morning, went over there, and said hi to my good buddy Olai. I said, I bought this guitar from you a couple years ago. I want to do a trade now. And I won't go into the specifics, obviously, but I feel like he took care of me very well. And we worked out a deal. And I was able to leave with this beautiful instrument. It was between this one, and then they had another Miris J. It was black and tortoiseshell that I liked as well. That was a killer look of a guitar. It was a little bit more kind of neutral. I was like, do I want something that's going to be, that would maybe fit in with a little bit more gigs and stuff like that. But the more I looked at this one and like this finish, I just couldn't say no to it. I love the look of it. I love how it really captures that old era of like the Silvertone, like Teisco guitars. I mean, you know, I'm a huge Jack White fan. You know, another inspiration. I get comments all the time of like, oh, is Mateus Sasato fan or John Mayer? And yes, those are some of my biggest inspirations. But I also really love bands like the Black Keys and Jack White, and you know, a lot of these guys, I grew up watching them play these like old airline guitars and National guitars, and yeah, and Teiscos and K's and all this other stuff. And so there's always been that other side of me that's loved those guitars, but those guitars objectively can suck a lot. They're not that good. You got to do a lot of work to them. If you've seen Dan Auerbach's rig rundowns, you know that his guitar tech literally overhauls all of those guitars when they get them. So something like this that really captures the look and the vibe and the feel, but plays and is built like a modern day guitar. It's kind of an anomaly of a guitar brand. They're really, really cool. Yeah, it somehow blends that. It feels like an old friend and it plays like an old friend, but it also at the same time plays flawlessly. You know, it's got features like a 9 to 14 inch compound radius fretboard, which is nice to have, you know. It's got the Mastery tremolo and bridge and this really odd lightning tremolo arm. It's called like the lightning bolt arm. Wasn't sure I felt about it at first, but it sits really nicely, kind of where you want it to. And these Mastery tremolos, I haven't used one of these in so long. I forgot how well they just stay wherever you put them. Having this really nice bridge and everything, like high premium quality electronics, staggered tuners, not locking tuners, which if you know me, I will be replacing these with locking tuners when I get home from this next run that I'm doing. But still, holds tune great, plays wonderfully. I've had it since Saturday. I'm recording this on May 6th now. Wednesday is when I'm recording this video. I'm super happy to report back. I absolutely love this thing. I was able to use it in rehearsals and it swapped in pretty nicely, and I'm actually going to take it on the road and use it for the shows that we're doing. Only things I've done to the guitar, nothing major, and this is something that I encourage everyone to do, whatever guitar they get. I just set it up to my liking. So I use 9s, so I put Elixir 9s on the thing. Lowered the action, I like pretty low action, and I lowered the pickups as well. That was the biggest difference, and kind of like, not shock, but like, it's been a really long time since I've had a guitar with P90s. And I love P90s. I've always loved P90s. But yeah, going from a Strat to 2 P90s, I had to definitely redo some gain structuring a bit. And then I also lowered these a little bit as well because I dropped the bridge quite a bit to get the action nice and low. So lowered the P90 pickups. And this is all compared to, you know, how it was totally stock in the intro clip. So now I've since lowered the pickups a little bit. And then I got these knobs, which I'm probably going to replace these with. I'm going to try and find some black ones. But the witch hat knobs, I'm doing this a lot on, you know, for shows and tours and stuff like that. So the witch hat knobs I just found for me personally, like they're a little too narrow. So I put these on here and they kind of have a bit of a vintage vibe, but they looked a lot darker on the listing that I got. So I'm going to try and find some black ones in a couple weeks when I'm back home. But other than that, I haven't touched the thing on it. Like I said, I just set it up and then, you know, adjusted the pickup height a little bit to my liking and the bridge. And that's really it. So it is really, really awesome. And yeah, like I said, kind of made the decision to let go of a guitar that I really liked for something that could hopefully breed new inspiration and new creativity. And it was definitely a tough choice to make, but one that I am happy with, you know, in the long run. I think selling gear and selling guitars is tough. I'm in a spot now in my life where thankfully I don't have to do it really as much to pay rent, you know, not as much anymore. I used to have to do that quite a lot, but it's still, so like selling it either way, it was a tough decision to come to, but one that I'm very happy with. So this guitar though, I mean, tonally, like we'll do some clean stuff as well to kind of show you. I'm just going direct into, right now we have my Cali 76 compressor on, and I'm going into this amp right here. This is my Tweed Deluxe, and it's a hand-wired Tweed Deluxe. It needs to be retubed. It was sitting for a long time or something. Actually, comment down below actually if you have any suggestions. But I need to do some TLC on it. It works and sounds great, but it gets a little crackling every now and then, so my apologies if there's some crackles going on. But it sounds really good. I've been enjoying playing through my amp at home. So yeah, here's neck pickup, clean. Yeah, so I think this thing sounds incredible. It just sounds like it feels like it sounds like an old Gibson. I don't know. It's really hard to describe. The vibe and the sound and feel of the guitar is like an old guitar, but the playability is just perfect and new. So yeah, obviously, like if you have the means, you know, these are expensive instruments. And so if you have the means and everything like that, absolutely, I think it's 100% worth it. There's just another air of just build quality and premium, just nice feelingness about it. And I think they're great. I don't know. I think it's one of the coolest looking guitars. I love this shape. It's so hard to come up with an original design that looks cool. And I think this already feels like a timeless classic design, and it's only been around for around, I think, 10-ish years, you know, give or take. Playing it for tour and for rehearsals this past week has been great. It's super light. That's the other thing that I've been really enjoying about it is how lightweight it is, because not only is it a semi-hollow, but I believe this one is Swamp Ash. And so it's like hand-selected, lightweight, Swamp Ash, and semi-hollow, thin line, versus, I love that Suhr, but man, Suhrs, if you've played them, you know they can be tanks because they have the silent system in there, which adds a good bit of weight. Running around and playing this, it's crazy. It feels super light. It's been fun kind of adjusting to a guitar like this. I'm used to playing Strats. Like I'm very much a Strat or a Tele guy, and this is something totally new. For me, at least, like I said, for the last while, you know, a semi-hollow Jazzmaster-ish kind of, but feels a little bit more, you know, comfortable. And like, to me, I'm not a huge Jazzmaster fan, but having this tremolo, kind of the different way this tremolo feels, the different way the pickups sound, how they react with my setups, playing something like this that like you don't feel like you can play fast on, but like because it's got kind of the flatter fretboard and like the way it's set up and built, you actually can kind of go crazy on it, which is really cool. So I think it's great. I am very, very happy with it. I'm excited to use it in a lot more videos for you guys, and I'm excited to use it on this upcoming tour. If you're in Europe, come say hi. We're playing all over the place. Yeah, I don't know. I've wanted one of these guitars for a really, really long time, and it felt like it was time to finally get my hands on one, and I'm very happy that I did, and I don't see this one leaving the collection anytime soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. We are very, very quickly approaching 2,000 subscribers. I would love to reach that soon. So if you are watching this and you aren't already subscribed to me and you enjoyed the video, please like it, please subscribe, and check out some of the other content. And we'll see you guys potentially in Europe. I'm going to try and do some filming over there. So hopefully we'll get a video out in Europe. If not, I will see you guys when I'm back. And thank you guys so much for watching.